Few stories in American history are as captivating as that of Tammany Hall. For nearly 2 centuries, this political machine held New York City in its grip, building public works, stealing millions, and shaping the city's destiny. Tammany Hall was a paradox to some, a symbol of corruption and greed, to others a lifeline for immigrants and the poor. It provided jobs, food, and belonging to those who arrived in America with nothing but hope. Understanding Tammany Hall is to understand the soul of modern New York, a story of ambition, power, and the contradictions of American democracy. Its leaders, like Boss Tweed and Charles Francis Murphy, wielded more power than any mayor, controlling nominations, policy, and the city's machinery. They built bridges and parks with stolen money, demanded loyalty, and gave a voice to the voiceless. Tammany was not just a gang of thieves, it was a complex institution that shaped millions of lives and left an indelible mark on New York. As we explore its rise and fall, we'll see how it began as a patriotic club, became a powerhouse of political control, and ultimately a cautionary tale about the temptations of power. The story of Tammany Hall is more than history. It's a timeless lesson about the struggle between reform and corruption at the heart of American politics.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
Tammany Hall's story begins not with corruption, but with hope. In 1789, William Mooney founded the Society of St. Tammany as a patriotic, charitable club for pure Americans. Named after a Lenape chief, it symbolized a new American identity, separate from Europe's aristocracy. Early Tammany was social, organizing parades, ceremonies, and networking for middle-class tradesmen. But political turmoil soon pulled it into the fray, aligning with Jefferson's Democratic Republicans against the Federalists. Its structure, braves, sachems, the wigwam, proved perfect for political mobilization. By the early 1800s, Tammany was the Democratic Party's heart in New York, controlling nominations and building support block by block. Internal struggles shifted its mission from patriotism to power. The original ideals faded as winning elections became the focus. Tammany discovered its true strength, organizing voters and controlling government. This set the stage for its evolution into America's most powerful political machine. Tammany's true rise began in the 1830s and 1840s as waves of immigrants, especially the Irish, flooded New York. Shunned by the city's elite, these newcomers found help in Tammany Hall. Tammany saw voters where others saw outsiders. Ward bosses met immigrants at the docks, found them jobs, bailed them out, and delivered coal in winter. In return, they expected votes, a direct exchange of help for loyalty. This was social welfare before government programs, forging a powerful bond. On Election Day, Tammany's army of voters delivered victory after victory. The machine embedded itself in daily life, turning the city's most vulnerable into its foundation of power. But this wasn't altruism. Controlling votes meant controlling contracts, jobs, and wealth. Tammany's help was an investment, and the return was unprecedented political power. By serving the working class and immigrants, Tammany became more than an organization. It became part of New York's social fabric. The city's transformation was inseparable from Tammany's rise. The machine's grip was now unbreakable. No name is more linked to Tammany corruption than William "Boss" Tweed. In the 1860s, Tweed and his ring controlled New York's government, turning the treasury into their personal fortune. Their method approved massive city projects, wildly inflate costs, and pocket the difference. Contractors paid kickbacks. Imaginary work was billed. Every transaction was a chance to steal. The Tweed Courthouse, budgeted at $250,000, ballooned to nearly $13 million. Its furniture alone cost more than Alaska. Tweed and his associates stole between $45 million and $200 million, billions today. He lived lavishly, seeing himself as a Robin Hood, but gave only to himself and his friends. For a few years, Tweed was king of New York, a living symbol of absolute power corrupting absolutely. The city's infrastructure grew, but so did the scale of theft. Tammany's corruption reached its zenith under Tweed. The public would soon demand a reckoning. The Tiger's greed could not go unchecked forever. Boss Tweed's downfall came not from politicians, but from the pen of cartoonist Thomas Nast. Nast's savage illustrations in Harper's Weekly made Tweed and the Tammany Tiger infamous. His cartoons cut through language barriers, showing Tweed's greed and the ring's predation. Tweed reportedly said, "My constituents can't read, but they can see them damned pictures." Nast's art, combined with the New York Times reporting, sparked public outrage. City accounts revealed the ring's theft. Pressure mounted for justice. Samuel Tilden led the legal charge, and one by one, the ring fell. Tweed was arrested, tried, and convicted in 1873. He escaped to Spain, but was recognized from Nast's cartoons and returned to jail. Tweed died in disgrace in 1878, a testament to the power of a free press. The Tiger was caged, at least for a time. Tammany's image was forever changed. The city had witnessed the power of public accountability, but the machine itself would survive. Tweed's fall hurt Tammany, but the machine endured. Its strength lay in a vast network of ward bosses and precinct captains, men who knew every voter in their district. Patronage was the engine. City jobs went to loyal supporters, not the most qualified. In return, job holders gave votes, donations, and campaign work. George Washington Plunkett called this honest graft, profiting from insider knowledge, not outright theft. Buy land before a city project, sell it for profit. I see my opportunities and I took them. Tammany's favors extended everywhere. Permits, licenses, legal help. In many ways, it was a parallel government, more responsive to the poor than official bureaucracy. This web of favors and obligations kept the machine running for decades. Tammany's deep connection to the people was its secret weapon. After Tweed, Tammany needed a new kind of boss. Enter Charles Francis Murphy. Silent Charlie was discreet, strategic, and avoided scandal. From 1902 to 1924, he rebuilt Tammany's image, professionalizing the machine and centralizing power. Murphy embraced progressive reforms, workplace safety, child labor laws, pensions, both to help constituents and outmaneuver reformers. Under Murphy, Tammany launched political stars like Senator Robert Wagner and Governor Al Smith. Smith, a Tammany product, became a national leader for progressive causes and the first Catholic presidential nominee. Murphy's Tammany was still undemocratic, but it produced genuine reformers. The machine was now seen as both a champion of the common man and a political powerhouse. Murphy brought Tammany to its zenith, dominant in New York and influential nationwide. But change was on the horizon. Murphy's death in 1924 marked the start of Tammany's decline. Without his leadership, corruption resurfaced. Scandals rocked the administration of Mayor Jimmy Walker. The Seabury Commission exposed bribery and the sale of judgeships. Meanwhile, the Great Depression overwhelmed Tammany's old methods of aid. Federal New Deal programs provided relief on a scale Tammany couldn't match, shifting voter loyalty. Reformers like Fiorello LaGuardia united opposition and swept into office, promising to clean up city government. LaGuardia dismantled the patronage system, replacing it with merit-based hiring. Demographic shifts further eroded Tammany's base as old immigrant communities moved away. By the 1960s, Tammany was politically irrelevant, a relic of another era. Scandal, federal intervention, and reform had finally brought the Tiger to its knees. The machine's era was over. New York would never be the same. Tammany Hall is gone, but its legacy haunts American politics. It's a cautionary tale of corruption, voter fraud, and the abuse of power. Yet Tammany also met real needs, providing jobs, aid, and community to millions of immigrants. It integrated newcomers into the political system, giving a voice to the voiceless. Tammany's duality, corrupt bosses and progressive reformers, forces us to confront hard questions about politics and power. Can a corrupt system produce good? Where's the line between help and manipulation? Tammany was a product of its time, responding to the chaos of a growing city. Its story is a fundamental part of the American experience, a struggle to balance democracy's ideals with messy reality. The buildings, dynasties, and legends it left behind are more than history. They're symbols of a turbulent chapter in New York and America. Tammany's rise and fall remind us, power can serve or corrupt, and the line is always thin. The tiger may be gone, but its lessons endure.